Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks, and today I'm going to talk about Whirlpool, which may be 4x from here if somebody invests at these levels. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position to any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. Before I talk about Whirlpool, here's a small request. Kindly support me on Patreon. Once you do that, it will help me grow the channel, help you also ask me questions and eke out answers in greater detail. Once you get the $10 membership, you'll have access to my portfolio, my watch list, and number of podcasts I put up from time to time. And also, if you can pay $100 upfront, you get 1 year access by paying for 10 months. You can also get WhatsApp membership. If you email me, I'll send you the details. Now about the company, formally established in 1911 in US, it is focused on providing white goods such as washing machines, AC, etc. Whirlpool, and is the leader in top door washing machines as well as some of their refrigerators sells big. They also manufactures microwaves and kitchen accessories. It is the biggest consumer goods brand in India with the kind of products that it produces and the kind of products that it is selling. If you look at the numbers, these are Q1 FY23 numbers, and why this has come into focus is that the numbers have been pretty good. So sales went up by 53% to 2080 crores. So finally the numbers are now kicking in after probably 7-8 quarters of virtually no growth or degrowth, and profit went up by 395% to 84 crores. They did really well on the profit front. It's a zero debt company, and the ROE is around 13%, margins around, it's now down to 6%, but sales have grown sharply. The margins have dipped actually year on year. So why I believe it can be for it has the moat and leadership, especially in the top door washing machine segment in which it is doing well, and it is second in the, you can say, refrigerator segment. It is second probably to LG in the you can say domestic refrigeration, and second only to Blue Star in the commercial refrigerators that we see. So they are doing well on two fronts in terms of the white goods segment, and they are diversifying into a lot of other brands as well. Return ratios are pretty good and management is pretty good as well. So it will continue to command a very high premium when we talk about in terms of the PE. The longevity of business is always there with the kind of products that they are selling. Only there'll only be a demand for such kind of products as electrification kicks in India, and it becomes big over a period of time, and it is coming at reasonable valuations now. With the kind of numbers that it is producing, the valuations are pretty reasonable. If you look at the performance, then stock has been in a range for the last 2 years. It hasn't done much. It saw a huge decline in March 2020 and then some recovery. It declined to around 1300 1400 levels. It remained around 1400 1500 for some months, and now from 1400 levels it has gone up by around 20% or so. There have been pressure on earnings for once. See, after a long time the pressure on earnings have been seen. So till 2017-18 things were pretty fine. It was growing pretty well by around 30% or so on the bottom line, but over the last 3 years or so since FY19, things have not been that great, and due to the pandemic things got stalled. So the numbers really looked bad at that point of time. But now with this quarter, with the kind of June quarter numbers that it has produced, I think numbers should set to get better as we go along in FY23, and the festive season also comes along. I think numbers will get better and the stock price should rise from here. There is high promoter and institutional holding with only 8% free float, so that's a positive as well. And June numbers is a precursor of what to expect. I believe this year could be pretty good for the company, and then FY24 will be even bigger. In terms of technicals, there is strong support around the 1450 1500 levels, which is around 10% from here, 10-15% from these levels, current levels. And currently the stock is breaking out. I'm seeing that the stock could go to 1900, 1950 in a very short term, and the major breakout is expected above 1950 levels. It can consolidate between 1700 and 1900 for a few weeks, but I think by the end of the year we'll see it much higher than 1950, and things should chug along well if the numbers continue to be strong. So you can buy even at these levels and then probably add more around 1600 levels or so. So keep on accumulating in this range between 1550 to 1750 levels. So, in my opinion, buy close to levels of 1600. That will be the best case scenario. It is a market leader, and look for massive falls to accumulate whenever those come in, because numbers are turning around and it is looking good. It is very hard to trade such stocks because they get into slumbers for many months, and that is what has exactly happened with Whirlpool. But I think over the next 4 years, it can be 4x. So, if we take the lower end of the price band from where the stock has moved up around 1500, the stock could be a 6000 rupees stock over the next 4 year period. So it is a top long term buy. So this was my video on Whirlpool. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you get my videos straight away when I post it. Kindly support me on Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching.